It is night 2 of the Beehive Showcase here in Logan, Utah. Game 4 of 8 this weekend as Utah State will take the ice against the Grand Canyon University Lopes. I'm Stockton Jukes with you on the Utah State Hockey YouTube channel. And we are excited for this one. The Herd coming into the building with some giveaway opportunities. If you are watching this from inside Cache Valley, get your butt over to the George S. Eccles Ice Center. It's where all the action is tonight in Cache Valley. Aggies skating out on the ice in their Navy kits tonight, the Navy sweaters. Wore the whites last night in an 8-1 victory over the University of California Golden Bears. Grand Canyon dropped their opening game 7-2 against Providence in the early slot yesterday on this ice. Back in Logan tonight, they will be switching it up tomorrow. I believe they're going down to Ogden. We'll double check that. But looking for a better showing tonight. Had some momentum that they pulled together in the second period. Ended up giving up 2 quick goals after scoring one of their own, and after that, Providence kind of ran away with it. Let's go ahead and take a look at our starting lineups ahead of the national anthem here in Logan. Going out there for the Lopes tonight, Kyle Northrup getting the start in net, Wyatt Schmitz, Luke Busher, Shaden Davis, Chase LaRiviere, and Gannon Kligora, your starting 6 for the Lopes. And on the other side of the ice, the best flow west of the Mississippi, Titan Anderson in net for the Aggies after getting the night off last night. Garrett Bogan, Tate Jensen in front of him on defense. Sam Pfeiffer, DJ Freegang, and Reese Byman. Your skaters for the Aggies to start this one off. And for Utah State, after watching that Grand Canyon game early yesterday afternoon, the Lopes' real danger is how quickly they can get across the neutral zone, down the ice on those stretch passes. If Utah State gets beat behind, Grand Canyon scored both of their goals on those quick break chances, but Grand Canyon struggles if they allow their opposition to set the defense in the defensive zone, so they'll be trying to move quickly. Utah State, though, has controlled the neutral zone in all of their wins so far this season, and they have won a lot of games. So we'll see if they can do it again tonight. Had firm control of that game yesterday. Things started to get a little chippy in the third period. Utah State did not give in and ended up letting the scoreboard do the talking for them. Looking for more of the same tonight. Now Titan Anderson will skate out to the blue line ahead of the national anthem, and we will take a break from Logan. When we come back, it's puck drop between the Lopes and the Aggies. It's time for Aggie hockey in Logan, Utah. Stockton Jukes with you on the Utah State Hockey YouTube channel for the second of 4 nights of the Beehive Showcase. Grand Canyon on the ice against Utah State tonight after dropping their opener yesterday afternoon 7-2 against Providence. The Aggies looking to continue the Lopes losing streak. The Lopes looking to break the Aggies winning streak. Aggies off 2 in a row, dominant wins. UVU last weekend and last night, that 8-1 win over the University of Cal Golden Bears. Lots of points in that game. Freegang ended up having two goals, 1 assist. He was our first star of the night for Utah State. And Ryan Wallen, the freshman in net, aside from one that was turned over right on the doorstep for him, he played on his head last night for Utah State. He was our 3rd star of the night. On the ice for the Utah State Aggies, though, like we mentioned, Pfeiffer, Freegang, Bynum to start this off. It's going to be Freegang on the dot. He'll stand across from number 86, Chase LaRiviere, who had a goal for the Lopes last night. Aggies are going to win the faceoff, but under immediate pressure. Poke to the far side, Bynum into the middle for Freegang. Freegang left, Bogan over the blue line. Bogan takes a long shot wide right. We've got an arm in the air now. Delayed penalty coming against Grand Canyon early in this one. Centering pass right onto the stick of Freegang, but a little too hard to settle. Pfeiffer off a skate. Ends up with Bynum. Bynum kicks it around, lost it with the handle, and now we will assess the first penalty of the game. Just 26 seconds into this one. It's going to be a hook on Grand Canyon. Being escorted over to the box is Chase LaRiviere. Guilty party on that one. And we've got our first Utah State Monster Energy power play. Once again, just 26 seconds into the game, 19:34 to play in the first. 2 minutes on the board. Ferry out there with Pfeiffer and Sanborn. Pierce on the blue line with LaFontaine for this power play unit. Pfeiffer up the wall. LaFontaine gives it back. Behind the net, Ferry trying to direct traffic from there. Back to LaFontaine on the blue line, leaves it for Ferry on the wall. LaFontaine from the point, shot into a body, rebound falls right into Jackson Ferry's lap. He'll leave it on the far side now for Pierce. Give and go. Ferry wrapping around the net, back to the near side. Dumps it off for Pierce, backdoor shot, goes across the crease, not on frame. Again, all the way around the boards. Pierce going to be there in the far side corner. LaFontaine from the blue line chips it back in towards Sanborn, who swats at it. Ferry picks it up in the corner. Back up the wall for Pierce. Pierce down the wall for Ferry. LaFontaine calling for it. Pierce gets it to him one time. Glove save. Northrop through traffic. 1:06 remaining on the Aggie power play. 18:40 to play in period number 1. Aggie hockey fans, we've got a treat for you tonight. We've got an Aggie alumni in the building, Dylan Hale. I may or may not have bullied him a little bit into jumping on the show at the beginning of the second period, so stick around. After that first intermission, we'll have Dylan Hale on the show for about 5 minutes just to talk Aggie hockey, talk his experience here in the Eccles, and he still knows a lot of these boys on the team. He was a big part of this power play unit, as a matter of fact, with Ferry and Pierce last year. Pilgrim to the far side corner. He'll scoop this up. Freegang again. Up the wall, back to Pilgrim. Pilgrim sauce across, finds Owen Ramsey. Ramsey shot into the chest, spilled on the rebound. Centering pass from Bynum gets through. Baum with a quick attempt off the wall and finally cleared out of the zone by Grand Canyon. Just over 30 seconds left in the Aggie power play. 18:05 to play in the first period. Ramsey under pressure, hits the brakes. He lost it. Lopes have a chance, 2-on-2 on the shorthanded. Can't come away with it. Bad passing, Utah State. Big shot right in front of Titan Anderson. He gets a stick on that one. Pilgrim stuck in the D zone. Aggies on the power play, wasting away the last 30 seconds here. Now they get it out into the neutral ice. 5 seconds remaining. Aggies aren't going to get a rush off as Ramsey's forced back into his own zone, and we're back to even strength. LaRiviere straight for the bench. Up the right wing for Jack Wallace. Wallace one-on-one, skates, Deeks. Gets knocked down. Good body positioning from Grand Canyon's number 6. That is Dalton Mays, stopping a one-on-none opportunity for Utah State, and the goal's off its mooring. 17:26 to play in this one. Pulling up the remaining schedule for the Beehive Showcase. Like we mentioned, Grand Canyon going to be down in Ogden tomorrow afternoon, 4 p.m. puck drop against Montana State, and then 1 p.m. on Sunday afternoon against Weber State. Giff gets a poke at it, ends up out of the danger zone. This is going to be an icing, though, on GCU. They could not stretch out and get a tip on it. Jensen's there first, and we're coming back the other way. Lopes kill off the first penalty they give up. Aggies still with a lot of pressure, though, in the O-zone. Not a lot of pucks down to our right early in this one. Gifford on the dot now. House Saldana to his left, Wallace to his right. Wallace comes in on the tie-up and fishes that thing out of danger. He's bumped up along the boards. Grand Canyon trying to break the zone. They do. 2-on-3 the other way, but the pass is whiffed on offside. They're going to have to check up, and a big hit on Saldana behind the play. Wallace takes a bump on the wall, drops this off for Bogan. Bogan behind the net for Jensen. Aggies trying to pass quickly, just taking a couple bounces there was the puck. Kicked down on the blue line by Grand Canyon. They'll circle back the other way. Pass through the middle of the zone goes off the heel of a Lope. Kept alive on the right wing. Blue line opportunity circling to the near side. And the Aggies will break 3-on-1 if they can get on their horse. It's going to be 2-on-1 with Ferry. Wallace trying to find Ferry into the glove of a Lope. Good defense again from Mays. Baum knocks down the stretch pass, a little too heavy to handle. Sauce towards that back post. Anderson follows it well. And a good kick save for Titan Anderson. Now Ferry and Pierce, 2-on-1. Ferry with Pierce to his left, tries to sauce. Good layout, pass blocked by Grand Canyon. Baum will fire it back in. Utah State not going off for a change. They're going to forecheck as that puck bounces hard. Comes out of the zone on the other side. 15:45 to play in period number one. We're still tied 0-0. Lopes starting to get a little more puck possession here, and they're forcing some bad passes from Utah State in the defensive zone, which is something we've talked about a lot this season for Utah State. Baum throws the shoulder, gets that puck free. It's going to stay with Grand Canyon in their offensive zone. Back to the blue line on the far side. Shot knocked down by the body of Jackson Ferry. He gets it back out into neutral ice, but can't get much further. Chip and chase now. Titan Anderson caught in a bad spot. He needs to get back in the crease. And he does, just barely in time. Lopes, 2 opportunities at the near post, and now we've got a delayed penalty coming on Grand Canyon, it looks like. No, it's going to be on Utah State for a trip. Braden Mooney gets called behind the net for a trip, got his stick caught behind some skates. 15:02 to go in the first period. Aggies on their first penalty kill of the night. Mooney got hit with a couple penalties in the third period yesterday that he made his displeasure very clear about. A little less argumentative early in this one. LaRiviere back on the ice on the dot for Grand Canyon. Top line looking for a point here early. Inside that left circle. Nice pass across circle to circle. Shot off the side of the cage. LaFontaine gets to the rebound behind the net. He'll clear the zone. 15 seconds off the power play for Grand Canyon. Utah State's going to apply pressure with Reese Bynan. LaRiviere now from the right wing. Has some help to his left, but Bynan pokes it away. Picked up behind. Passing across the blue line. Lopes try to go into that far corner. LaRiviere will pick it up behind the net. Now Busher fires back off that back wall. Took an awkward bounce. Titan Anderson had to kick at it. Stays in the zone. Shot from the near side. Tipped by LaRiviere. He tried to wrap it around and put the rebound home. Could not get his stick around it. Again, top of the point. Grand Canyon shot through traffic. Caught and killed by Titan Anderson. 14:10 to go in the first period. 1:08 remaining on the Grand Canyon power play. Lopes are going to keep the LaRiviere line out there. Has Klagora to his right. And Klagora swoops in to pick that one up off the tie. Down to the goal line, whiffed on the pass. Puck did not agree with the stick. Wallace gets held up, but he does clear the zone. Under a minute left to kill for Utah State. Dangerous play behind the net. Just barely getting that away in time was Northrop. 45 seconds left to kill for Utah State. 13:45 to play in the period. Nice hand block there by Jack Wallace on the pass. Fired right back down the ice by Utah State. Pilgrim on the forecheck. Wallace will come up and join him. Overskated it a little bit. Now there's numbers for GCU. 4-on-3 the other way. Tried to leave that on the blue line for a teammate. Wallace could get down the ice. Wallace 1-on-1. Walks it in, takes the shot. That is going to be killed. It looks like it might have gone inside the sleeve of Northrop. Yes, it did. Ozone face-off short-handed for Utah State, going to be on the right of Northrop with 13:20 to go in the first period, 18 seconds left to kill. Face-off win here would probably let them kill off the rest of this minor. Free Gang did win the draw. Takes a couple weird bounces, though. Now picked up Bynum down the left side. 10 seconds left to kill for Utah State. They're going to jam that puck in the corner, and they will be able to get the rest of this off the board. Mooney up in the box. 3 seconds left to kill. 2, 1, and the Aggies are back to even strength. Aggies holding the puck in the neutral zone. That's going to take a deflection into the Grand Canyon bench, so Mooney's able to get back unscathed. 12:56 to go in the first period. Back to even strength hockey. Neutral zone face-off just in front of that Grand Canyon bench, far side of the ice. Free Gang, Piper, Bynum. The line for Utah State, and Grand Canyon a little too eager on the face-off. Kochton out of the circle. His replacement wins that pretty easily. Looks like it was Petrato. Free Gang up to Pfeiffer, who just barely got back on side in time. Jump catch by Ramsey. Gets it back into the zone. Aggies still trying to hold that neutral zone. Now here go the Lopes, cutting back behind. Good poke by Ramsey to force him out wide. Flat angle shot. Rebound opportunity. What a save by Titan Anderson in tight space. 12:32 to play in the first. We are still scoreless. Koch back on the dot for Grand Canyon. Free Gang wins it clean. LaFontaine picks it up. Whiffed on the stretch pass look. Leaves it for Ramsey on the left side. Ramsey flip dump to LaFontaine, who skates through the neutral zone, chops that into the offensive zone, and then loses his skates, can't get back to it. Free Gang, though, excellent forecheck pressure. Pokes that thing free on the near side wall. Pfeiffer down the goal line, centering for Free Gang, hit a body on the way through. Another dump attempt from the right wing for Grand Canyon. 2 Aggies on that one first. LaFontaine will skate away with it. Good stretch pass. Pfeiffer down the left wing. 2-on-2. Utah State with help from Free Gang. Pfeiffer leaves it for DJ. DJ trying to circle the net. Had it poked off his stick. Gets back to it. Back behind the wall again. Tried to center that one for Jackson Ferry off the top of the glass. Nearly a souvenir there. It's going to be icing on Grand Canyon with 11:34 to play in the first period. Haven't seen him out on the ice yet, but just to keep everyone aware, Duchess, who normally wears number 11, he's wearing 2-1 tonight. I wonder if maybe they just didn't have 11 in the Navy available tonight. But Jarrett Duchess had a couple points last night for Utah State. I think he had an assist. Pierce on the dot for Utah State. Got tangled up. Kicked down at the neutral zone by Braden Mooney. Gets Pierce back in the zone. Nice dangle. Gets the chip shot on. And a good chest save by Northrop. I keep wanting to call him Grumman. 11:22 to play in the first period. Pierce, Sanborn, Ferry out there up front for Utah State. Bomb Mooney, your D-men. Hacked at by Pierce. Bounces out to Mooney. Mooney, quick shot, blocker save. Ferry sends it back behind Northrop. It'll be picked up by GCU. Bad pass, though. Jackson Ferry on the doorstep. Off the post. Beat the glove of Northrop. Did not beat the iron. Hard to do. Ferry, again, leaves it in the middle. It's going to be intercepted by Grand Canyon. Now they can break 3-on-3 the other way. Stretch pass goes off the back of a skate of Utah State's defense. It was Mooney. Puck does end up behind Titan Anderson, though. Back up to the top of the circle on the near side. Long shot, blocker save. Titan Anderson, rebound comes out into a dangerous spot over the crossbar. Another shot tipped above the crossbar again. Pierce will finally get to it on the far wall, and he'll send it off a Lope and out of the zone. Big hit that he absorbs, but seems to be just fine. He's going to stay tangled up with his man over there. Now they're going to fight. Pierce getting tangled up with number 10, Corey Sikowski, who just wouldn't let go of Zach Pierce. Looks like it's going to be a 2-for-1 here. Zach Pierce going to the box. He'll be joined by Sikowski, deemed to be equally guilty there by the Zebras this evening. Both of them for a hold. Four-on-four hockey with 10:25 to go in the first period. Aggies are going to put Wallace and Pilgrim up front. Mooney and Ty Morris. Excuse me, no, that's Jensen and Ty Morris. Lopes win the faceoff. They'll go down the left wing. Long shot goes wide left. Anderson may have gotten a piece. Just barely escapes the offensive zone for Grand Canyon. They'll be forced to reset. Halfway through period number 1, 10 minutes to play. Still scoreless. Good chest save by Titan Anderson. No one knows where the puck is. Yeah, it looks like it got stuck in his blocker. 9:55 to go in the first. We'll have a face-off off to the left of Titan Anderson. Still 4-on-4. Aggies going to make a wholesale change as well as the Lopes. Douche is out there with Saldana, LaFontaine, and Owen Ramsey. Ramsey takes it off the faceoff, leaves it for LaFontaine behind the net. Jack circles to the far side, chips it through the neutral zone for Duchess. Jarrett Duchess looking for an outlet pass, has to circle the net, avoids one stick tap. Circling again in that far side corner, backhand along the back of the wall. Aggies get caught out of the wrong spot. Lopes come away with it. Stretch pass through the middle of the ice, one-on-one. Owen Ramsey followed his man. And Titan Anderson with a good glove save. 9:25 to play in the period. 1 more minute left in 4-on-4 hockey. Aggies again, D-zone face-off win. A little mishandle in the corner, but the pressure drops off. Stretch pass towards Duchess is a little wide of his stick. Back into the middle for Grand Canyon. They go near side after getting the Aggies drawn off to the left. Long dump is blockered up into the air and out of play by Titan Anderson into the bleachers for a souvenir. 9:05 to play in the period. 40 seconds left on the offsetting holding penalties. Lopes win the faceoff. No one there to collect it, though. It's going to escape the zone. 35 seconds left in 4-on-4. Quick action back into the zone for Grand Canyon. Poked away by Mooney. Mooney trying to follow the puck. Scoots away from him. Good hands right on the crease. That puck is still loose. Fired away and then shot wide left by Grand Canyon on a yawning cage. Baum chasing this one into the corner. He's going to have to throw the body, and he does, but the puck gets away from him. Poked away from Mooney. Now Pfeiffer drops it off for Freegang. 10 seconds left in 4-on-4. Up the right wing for Braden Mooney. Mooney will chip it in. He's going to head to the bench. Sikowski and Pierce released from the box. We're at 5-on-5 hockey again. Pierce going to join the action as Freegang pokes it away. 2-on-1. Pierce on the right. Freegang takes the shot. Kick save. And now we've got a slash being called on Grand Canyon. Aggies right back onto the Monster Energy power play. 8:14 to go in the first period. This time it goes against number 97. Excuse me, no, that's 87, Ethan Poole. Face-off off to the right of Northrop. Shot from LaFontaine just shaves the crossbar, 2 inches too tall. Pierce drops it back off to him on the blue line. Across the blue line for Pfeiffer. Pfeiffer back to LaFontaine at the point. That puck stays onside. Kept alive by Pfeiffer, but couldn't get back to it. Spinning out of position. LaFontaine on the pressure. Big hit along the near side wall, but popping away with the puck is Grand Canyon. Awkward angle shot again from the near side is knocked down by Titan Anderson and picked up by Pierce. 7:45 to play in the first. Aggies have 90 more seconds on the power play. Pfeiffer back up to Pierce in the neutral zone. Pierce is going to ring that one around the zone. Sanborn chasing it into the near side corner. Fired right back out. Anderson's going to skate out of the crease and play this one. He'll leave it on the far side for Pierce. LaFontaine going to come up and take it instead. Jack fakes the pass, skates through 2 different Lopes, sends it around the boards. It'll come up to Pfeiffer at the blue line. No, intercepted before it gets there. Pfeiffer does keep it in, though. Down to Ferry. 50 seconds left on the Aggie power play. Pfeiffer looking for a shot. Gives it back to Ferry. Top of the zone, LaFontaine. Drags around one. No space opens up. Back to the blue paint. Now Pfeiffer on the left wall. Mishandled, poked away from him, and Grand Canyon can't clear. Dumped back into the corner for Ferry. Ferry, big reverse hit, though. He goes down, loses the puck. LaFontaine's going to have to chase it off to the far side. LaFontaine kicks down that stretch pass attempt. Back to the middle of the ice for Grand Canyon. 20 seconds left on the kill for Grand Canyon, but they're going to attack again. Quick shot off the chest of Anderson and out to Pfeiffer. 15 seconds left on the power play. They got to move. Bad pass, though. They're not going to be able to get another rush in. Wasted power play there for Utah State. Oh, interception, DJ Freegang. Hold on just a second. Freegang shoots. Roofed it way above the crossbar into the safety netting. That was deflected, though. We'll come to the circle to the right of Northrop. 6:16 to go in the period. 2 seconds left on the Aggie power play. So they'll have at least 5 to 8 seconds of man advantage in the zone. Assume that we're going to see Ethan Poole break for the bench as soon as that door opens. Might join the play, though. 6:16 to play in the period. Aggies win the faceoff. Mooney out of the zone, skates up, keeps it on the blue line. Shot deflected off the leg pad of Northrop. We're back to even strength. Poole does join the play immediately. He's going to stay on the ice for now. Under 6 to play in the first. Lopes swing to the near side. Back through the neutral zone. And offside is called. A little eager over the paint was Jason Murphy. Neutral zone face-off, right side of the ice for Grand Canyon. No scoring affair so far. Still 0-0 with a little under 6 to play in the first. Grand Canyon neutralizing a power play opportunity for Utah State just moments ago. Now trying to resume some pressure in the offensive zone after getting a couple shots off shorthanded. Puck does come off the wall. Quick one-time shot. Oh, what a blocker save by Anderson. Sends it off the pipe and into the back netting. 5:34 to play in the first. Another win by the Lopes on the faceoff dot. Utah State has struggled on faceoff so far this weekend. Pilgrim getting his stick in there, going to get lucky not to get called for a hook there. Puck behind the net, dangerous spot for Grand Canyon. They come out to the near side. Shot fake left on the wall. Trying to cross the blue line, that's deflected out of the zone. Teague Pilgrim's going to get there first, has Wallace to his left. Blocker save right into the air, and it goes back in off of a Grand Canyon Lope. Own goal. Teague Pilgrim will get the credit for it. Sent it off Northrop. Northrop hit it straight up into the air, and it's deflected back into the net by Luke Busher. 5:08 to play in the first. The Aggies lead 1-0. Teague Pilgrim unassisted is going to be the call, I assume. But the last touch was Luke Busher. Tough break there for Busher, too. Just getting in the right position. Didn't realize where the puck was going to bounce. Aggies tied up at center ice, but they will come away with the puck. Reeves goes down to his skates. down to his knees off his skates. Sent off the wall, Saldana chasing it in. Grand Canyon going to neutralize the icing here, not enough time. Under 5 to go, Grand Canyon in a hole towards the end of the first period. A little better than how that game started yesterday. It was 3-0 after about 6 minutes for Providence. Here we go, though. Opportunity to respond. Excellent poke check at the last second by Garrett Bogan. 4:35 remaining in the first period. Centering pass goes nowhere and bounces all the way back to the other zone. Ducius got bumped as he was trying to get to the puck. Up the near side. Tapped into the middle. Sanborn almost made him pay for that one. Tate Jensen's going to get to it, leaves it for Ferry, gets it right back into the zone. Nice toe drag from Ducius to stay onside, and just missing wide left is Tate Jensen. Ferry keeps it alive. Aggies are going to go off for a change, though. Sanborn fighting for that puck to give the Aggies a little bit more time. Pierce and Ramsey back on the ice. Now LaFontaine has Ferry standing on the wall on the left side. He'll take it now. Ferry in the middle for Pierce. Backhand shovel attempt. No, excuse me, that was Sanborn over the crossbar. Huge hit LaFontaine, and Grand Canyon wanted interference for some reason when the puck was at the guy's feet. Or maybe they were calling for offside, and they were right. Aggies did end up checking up. Now a long shot off the body of Jackson Ferry in front. Stretch pass, kicked down at neutral zone, 2-on-4 the other way, poked away by Sanborn. He's going to throw a shoulder and free that puck up for LaFontaine. Aggies have numbers. LaFontaine gets hooked and spun around. That's somehow not going to be called. LaFontaine asking the linesman on his way back to the blue line there why he didn't get the whistle. He's going to throw a big hit on the guilty party. We call that hockey justice. Pierce down the middle. Shot poked. Pierce is going to get 2 and maybe more for a cross check to the face mask. And now DJ Freegang needs to be careful sticking up for his captain. We love Zach Pierce up here. Good friend, good hockey player, good golfer as well. Good golf buddy of mine, but that was about as guilty as he can be, Pierce. Crowd's gonna boo, as they should. That's home ice, but he's guilty there. That was a stick right up into the chin. 2:45 to play in the first period. Aggies will have another one to kill. Their third minor penalty of the night. Gonna have to see if there's gonna be any extra on this, because again, it was a stick up to the head and neck area. Jackson Ferry getting an explanation with his captain in the box. And for Pierce, that's his second penalty of the first period. He's playing a little chippy this weekend. They're gonna upgrade that to a 5-minute major, not surprising. Big opportunity for the Lopes here at the end of the first and into the second period. Major penalties are not canceled out after goals scored on the power play, so 5 straight minutes of man advantage no matter what for Grand Canyon. Refs are explaining now to Zach Pierce. I think that's going to be 5 in a game for head or net contact. Pierce is begging his case, but if I can read lips, the ref's saying, hey, it doesn't matter, so it is going to be 5 in a game for Pierce for head contact. Just saw Luke Anderson duck down into the tunnel looking for an explanation. He's not a healthy scratch, he's got a broken finger. But he's been scratched for Utah State for a couple weeks. Big contributor. Don't love not having him on the ice. Revo's going to have to go sit for Zach for the 5-minute major, and Pierce is going to be done for the game. I'll go down and talk to him during the intermission and see if we can get an update, but I'm assuming it's going to be a 5-minute major and a game for the head contact. It was pretty apparent. Yep, that is the call. 5-minute major for head contact. Interested to see, though, if they do keep him out for the rest of the game or if they just send him off for the rest of the period. Usually that means he's done for the night, though. Aggies trying to clear the zone. They cannot. It's kept in by Grand Canyon, but they missed the pass to the top of the slot. Back into the near side corner. LaRiviere up the wall. Clegora up the blue line, now to the far side. Grand Canyon looking for a shot window. Good kill defense here for Utah State so far, playing a pretty tight diamond in front of Titan Anderson. Glove down on the wall, though, on the clearance attempt. Grand Canyon still keeping it alive. Sent behind the net, Tate Jensen trying to get there. Had his stick lifted up by LaRiviere. Now Clegora's got it. Jensen throws LaRiviere into the boards. Clegora still has the puck. Looking for the shot, drags around the body of Sanborn. Glove save, Titan Anderson saw that one all the way, and LaRiviere couldn't get the screen in the right spot. A minute 33 to go in the period, 3:48 left on the Pierce major penalty. Teague Pilgrim, the difference maker in this one. Got a deflection to go off the body of Luke Busher into the net. 1-0 Utah State towards the end of this period with a little under 5 to play. Now a minute and a half left, 3:45 on the penalty for Pierce. That rebound comes out to a dangerous spot, but Pilgrim clears the zone. Up the right wing, Chisholm walks it in the zone, trying to put that one right on top of the crease. It's kicked down before it can get there. Reverse hit by Grand Canyon again, keeping that puck in the zone. Shot goes over the crossbar. Don't think Anderson saw it in time. 50 seconds left in the period, just over 3 remaining on the penalty kill for Utah State. Hard passing for Grand Canyon, it's causing some difficulty handling those passes. Pilgrim's clearance attempt is again blocked into the zone. He throws a big body on the far side. Puck's still inside that O-zone for Grand Canyon. They're doing a great job hemming that zone down for Utah State's defense. But now LaFontaine will finally lift one out. 25 seconds left in the period, 2:40 remaining on the penalty. Quick shot, good blocker save. Anderson out of position. Follow up over the crossbar again. 10 seconds left in the period. Aggies clear the zone. 2:24 remaining on the penalty. Maybe one more rush for Grand Canyon. They're going to give it up. Nope, they'll try one more time. Stretch pass on the right wing. Shot opens up, and now we've got a penalty from behind as Pfeiffer gets talked to by the guy that's going to the box. What a waste of an opportunity for Grand Canyon. They're only going to have 15 seconds left on the power play. They needed that, but it's a cross check. Dalton Mays in the box for Grand Canyon, and some frustration from his teammates now. They know that they just lost out on a big power play opportunity to open up the second period. 0.3 seconds left on the clock, so this probably isn't going to go anywhere, but that's a break for Utah State. We'll play 4-on-4 hockey at the beginning of period number 2. 2:15 remaining on the Pierce penalty, 2 minutes exactly on the Mays penalty when we come back. 1-0 Utah State. Pilgrim generating the own goal to give the Aggies the lead. And it's been a bit of a messy one, bit of a chaotic one. No one's playing their best so far, but the Aggies in front by 1. We'll be right back for the start of the second period on Utah State Hockey. Welcome back into the George S. Eccles Ice Center for the second night of the Beehive Showcase. Utah State leading 1-0, and we've got some procedural things to talk about as we come out of the intermission. Zach Pierce sounds like he's going to be done for the night. Stick to the head, automatic ejection in the ACHA. So he's done, but then right at the end of that period, pretty boneheaded penalty taken by Grand Canyon's number 6, Dalton Mays. Just getting a little handsy right in the neutral zone and giving Utah State that advantage right back. It's going to be 4-on-4 hockey for 2 minutes to start this period. We've got a special guest up here in the Steve Coleman broadcast booth this evening, Dylan Hale, alumni of the program and scorer of my favorite goal in Utah State hockey history. We've talked about this at length, though, but good to have you up here, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's great to be here. It's my first game back since my last time playing here, so it's great to be up here.
Always a good weekend to come back for Beehive Showcase. Now, you've played in this weekend before. It can be tough, 4 games in 4 days, heavy on the body, but having this kind of support out here, having people in the building, what does that do to you as a player?
Right. So 4 games a week, that's pretty tough on the body, back-to-back. So it's really nice to have all the fans here to support us, you know. I think that's what kind of keeps the boys going throughout the week, seeing all this amazing support, and I think that really just pushes you to keep going through 4 tough games.
Now, you just watched your first 20 minutes of hockey from not on the ice here in the building. What's the feeling for you being back in the building and not being out there?
Well, first of all, it's just great to be back, you know. It's great to see all the support. It's amazing to see how many people care for this team. So I just love being up here, seeing all the support. But I got to say, it is weird to be a fan instead of a player.
We did just see Zach Pierce come out of the tunnel in shorts and a sweatshirt, so he's done for the night. Kind of what we expected, and you and I were talking about this a second ago. It's unintentional, kind of frustrating there, but the letter of the law being applied there for Utah State. They are going to win the faceoff to open up the second period. Tate Jensen will skate up the ice. Chips one into the glove of Northrup, and that will be our first bit of action for this period. Now, Dylan, you played a lot of hockey with a lot of the guys that are still on the roster here at Utah State. Talking about Pierce, Ferry, and the Dylan Hale line back last year on the power play. All 3 of you guys getting to that 100-point career mark. What can you tell me, especially about Pierce and Ferry, who you spent so much time on the ice with?
Sure.
Offensively, what are they looking to create out there?
Sure. So with Zach and Ferry, really great on the puck, great hockey IQ. So they're going to be looking to make good passes, you know, find the guy backdoor. And I think just, you know, making the passing plays, that's what they're best at. So they're going to get that puck moving and try and find some nice plays.
Now, we've had a lot of new additions from last year to this year, and a couple coaching turnovers as well. We've got Eric Gearloff now behind the bench.
Sure.
You went back and forth with him a couple times
Sure.
when he was in a different sweater up there wearing the stripes at Utah State. But it seems like he's really got his hockey mind at work for Utah State. What can you tell me just about the differences you see between this team and what you were playing last year?
Yeah, for sure. So Gearloff, it's great to see him on the bench. You know, he's been out as a ref, but he's a Cache Valley legend, and it's great to see him out there. I think with Gearloff, we're seeing a little bit more aggression as opposed to last year. So it's good to see that, you know. I think you really need that in the 4-game weekend as well. So I think they're a bit more aggressive this year with this new coaching change.
LaFontaine rips one over the crossbar. Rebound comes out to Jack Wallace on the near side. 35 seconds left on the Grand Canyon penalty. 50 seconds left on the Zach Pierce major penalty. So it'll be a 15-second power play for Grand Canyon at the tail end of this thing. Stretch pass is kicked down into the D zone by Grand Canyon. They will come away with the puck. But bad pass to the neutral zone gives it right back to Ramsey. Wallace, left wing entry. Tried to flip one across the crease. No one was making the skate for Utah State on the back end. Puck bounces free 2-on-2 into the zone. Grand Canyon down the left side. Shot deflected up into the back netting by Jack LaFontaine. 18:06 to go in the second period. Aggies have 6 more seconds of 4-on-4 hockey, then they'll have to kill 15. And we've got Jack LaFontaine getting choke held in front of the Grand Canyon bench. Pushing and shoving between him and number 77, Duncan Chisholm. They'll be separated and sent back to their respective benches. Chippy game so far, though.
Absolutely. You know, coming into this game, I always thought Grand Canyon, that's the type of team they were. They're going to bring the aggression, they're going to throw some bodies around, and that's the game they play.
Physical and quick. They're very fast in the neutral zone.
Yes. Not
Aggies.
the most skilled team, but they really get after it in the O zone.
Aggies clear right after dropping that 4-on-4 tag, so it's not going to be an icing. Pfeiffer's going to follow this back. 5 seconds left to kill for Utah State. Stretch pass down the right wing, poked away by Baum, and we're back to even strength hockey. Centering feed right on that back post for Titan Anderson. He's trapped along the post, and it's fired out. Aggies tip that in. Reese Binen not going to follow it. Reeves was going off for the change, coming fresh off the bench, but he had that one right in his path. Now Grand Canyon's going to ice it the other way. No, they're going to wave it off for whatever reason. Couple missed passes on both ends here. Now what a poke by DJ Freegang. 2-on-1, has Pfeiffer to his right, tries to dish off a skate, centers to the top of the crease, cleared out of the zone, and Mooney rips one after being caught offside. Grand Canyon going to let him get away with that one on the late whistle. 17-12 remaining. We're back to even strength hockey. These physical games, these chippy games, Dill, you prefer when they get physical like this, or do you like a cleaner game?
You know, I prefer a more clean game myself, but, you know, sometimes that's just how the games go, and you got to adapt.
You were always very well behaved out there. Can't fault you for that one. Pierce, on the other hand. 17 minutes remaining in the second period. Aggies still trying to keep this inside that O zone, back to even strength, and Binen, his line on the ice for Utah State. They've been scoring at will the last few games. Down the left wing, good entry pass, good drop pass, and a couple good moves from Klagora, but he can't finish the shot. Aggies trying to break out of jail off the back wall. Freegang into a dangerous spot, turns it over. Klagora on the doorstep, through the glove, and we are tied. Bad passing in the D zone by Utah State gives up another goal for the second night in a row. 16:34 to go in the second period. We're tied at 1 thanks to Klagora. How tough can that be, Dill, when you start to get hemmed in back behind your own net? Do you start to panic at all when you try and get those passes out?
So I would prefer, it was great patience at the beginning, but I would prefer to move the puck towards the outside rather than the middle. On situations like those, I think it's best to move the puck up the ice quick.
Yeah, you saw Freegang skate across the crease there, had it poked off, and it was pretty much over from there.
You want to try and stretch the ice out as much as you can.
Pushed out to the right side. Grand Canyon back on the attack. Tie ball game, 16:25 to go in the second. Centering feed, top of the point is mishandled. Duchess gets his stick in there and breaks the play up. Reeves finally clears the zone. It'll be chased out by Saldana. And we've got an Aggie down behind the play. Power play coming for Utah State. Their third Monster Energy power play of the night. Dill, I'll go ahead and let you get back to your friends. I know you got a lot of people you got to say hi to tonight. Good to have you back in the building. Anything else you want to leave us with tonight?
I love USU hockey. I love the fans, and I love the support, and I love everything that USU hockey gave me, and I appreciate you having me tonight, Stockton. Thank you.
Absolutely, Dill. Good to have you up here, man. Anytime you're back, feel free. That's Dylan Hale, everybody. We'll see you around, Big Dill. 16:09 to go in the second period. We're tied at 1. Aggies back on the power play. 2-minute penalty assessed to Braden Olson. Didn't quite catch what the official call was there. We'll wait for the radio up. Puck finally dropped. Pfeiffer wins it back to LaFontaine. Quick shot, wide left. Rebound out to Ferry on the near side. 16 minutes to play in the second period. We've got a hockey game on our hands. Grand Canyon tied it up recently on a bad defensive play for Utah State in their own zone. Gifford trying to dance through a bunch of sticks, finally sent out by Grand Canyon, and LaFontaine's going to chase. Dish back to Pfeiffer. Ferry up the right side. Rings it around the boards. Gifford up the wall, LaFontaine across the blue line. Jackson Ferry on the left circle. Has to dump it into the corner under pressure. Sanborn back to Ferry, right back to Caleb Sanborn inside the circle on the right. Centering for Gifford. Gifford couldn't handle it. 60 seconds off the power play for Utah State. Just over 15 to go in the second period. It's still tied at 1. Ferry's going to leave that for LaFontaine with some speed up the right wing. Stretch pass through the middle is tipped in by Sanborn. No icing. Sanborn gets there first. Up the wall, drop pass for Gifford. Gifford in space in the corner. Switches the play behind the net. Back up to the blue line. Ferry over to LaFontaine. Looks for the shot, gets it in right into the chest of Northrop. 33 seconds left on the Aggie power play. They'll make a change now. Freegang and Bynum and Pilgrim back on the ice up front. Ramsey, Baum on the blue line. Baum from the wall. Tries to find Pilgrim in the corner. He gets hit. Puck bounces back out to Baum. Quickly across the blue line for Ramsey. Looks for the shot, deflected up into the back glass. Cleared out into the neutral zone. Freegang first to it. Followed by one Lope. Fakes the dump for Ramsey. He'll take it himself down the left side. Chips it into the zone just over the red line. Pilgrim chasing. Pilgrim got a stick in there but couldn't get with the puck. Flipped back out of the zone with 30 seconds left on the power play for Utah State. 14:30 left in the second. 20 seconds left on the Aggie power play. Nice drop pass to Bynum with a lot of speed down the right wing. Takes the shot. Kick save. Grumman spills it. Still, second chances. Kick saved again by Northrop. Freegang lucky not to make contact with the puck there. That would have been a high stick. 14:05 remaining in the second period. Tied at 1. Lots of extracurricular contact on the far side. Still fighting for it. Freegang circling the far circle. Back up the wall. Baum fires in from distance. Knocked down by a stick in front of Northrop. Freegang off a skate. Baum on the other side. Tries to send it back into danger. Bounces free. Bynum down into the corner. Freegang. Freegang pinned along the wall. Couldn't get back to the puck in time. Takes a spill after a second bit of contact. And the puck out into the neutral zone. 13.5 to play in the second period. Utah State in control of the flow of the game right now, but trailing 1-0 in this period. We're tied at 1. Up to the blue line, kept in by Grand Canyon only for a second though. Chipped right back out. Klagora trying to go quickly through the neutral zone. Takes a bump, leaves it for LaRiviere. Poked away from LaRiviere by Ramsey in the corner. Ramsey again circling back towards the puck, puts his body in the way, has help from Gifford. He gets his stick tangled up the wall to Wallace. Wallace out to the center for Gifford. Gifford goes wide, offside. Ducius jumped over the line a little too early. 12:51 to play in the second. So it sounds like we've had an issue with the clock. 12:38 has been put on the clock here. It looks like the clock op did not get the clock running for about 20 seconds there, so they've adjusted the time. That may have been what all the yelling was about over to our right. I thought they weren't happy about a lack of a whistle. Oh well. Through the neutral zone, tipped down by LaRiviere, swatted down by Ty Morris. That's going to give Grand Canyon a play on the puck. Morris puts his body in the way, though, gets to it in the corner. He's going to try and kick this up against the wall. Gifford in to help. Gifford just missed a big hit there. Back into the neutral zone, fired right back in. Grand Canyon going to go off for a change. A little over 12 to play in the period. Hollering for that puck is Jack Wallace, trying to beat Grand Canyon on a change. He gets the pass too late. Tate Jensen now has a break into the zone. Knocked off his stick. He throws the body on the back end. Gets help from Gifford and Wallace. Wallace keeps it on the blue line. Wallace, quick one into the safety netting off to the left of Northrup will go to his right now for the faceoff. No, this is going to be off to his left from where the shot was taken. 11:44 to go in the second period. Still tied at 1. Grand Canyon coming out of the locker room with a lot more energy in the second intermission after a frustrating end to the first period. Sanborn Ferry Saldana out there now. Looks like they've brought up Saldana to that first line in the absence of Zach Pierce. He's going to come away with the puck now, try to turn and shoot quickly. Gets a rebound off of a block. Puck bouncing behind the net. Grand Canyon back up the left wing. Good stick D from Logan Baum there, sent off the glass. Awkward bounce right onto the stick of a Lope. Shot deflected wide right. That just took a flat bounce off the window and nearly burnt Utah State. Saldana's going to get there, no icing. He gets tangled up on the body. Puck ends up behind him, scooped away by Grand Canyon. Stretch pass through the through the neutral zone. This is going to be icing. Baum was there just barely first, and then he's going to get tangled up with someone from Grand Canyon. He's going to take a couple bumps there and a slash to the shins, but Utah State. Logan Baum's laughing and shrugging. Logan Baum just imitated the LeBron faking being scared gif. That was the funniest thing I've seen on the ice so far this weekend. .11 minutes and a second remaining in period number 2. We're still tied at 1. Aggie's going to have an offensive zone faceoff. Pfeiffer stuck in the corner, trying to get a pass out. Free gang up the wall. LaFontaine one-timed wide right. Ramsey sends it back in. Off the side of the cage on the outside, the left side. Bynan almost had a third opportunity on the rebound. Lopes trying to get out of the zone, knocked down by LaFontaine. He's got to let his team check up. Bynan will hold the play for Utah State. Fired in by Ramsey from the red line. Free game to chase. Picked up first by Bynan, though, on the far side. Bynan dispossessed by 2 Lopes. He gets it right back, though. Picks a pocket on the far side wall. Leaves it on the blue line. Fired across the zone. Bynan chases it over there and picks it up himself. Pfeiffer out of the corner, got tripped up. No call. Bynan centering. Free gang. Goal! DJ Freegang has his third in 2 games. It's 2-1 Utah State halfway through the second. DJ Freegang from Sam Pfeiffer, and the Aggies are back on top with 10:02 to play in period number 2. The Eccles is alive and well. Gifford's going to go to the dot now for Utah State. Has Pilgrim to his right, Wallace to his left. Jensen off the back wall. Pilgrim tried to get there under fire, and now we've got whistles for a hand pass. This is going to go against Utah State. Face-off coming off to the right of Titan Anderson, and again, they didn't stop the clock in time. Grand Canyon skaters noticed that one. They're pointing at the clock op. Pilgrim tripped up, and it's going to be another Monster Energy power play for Utah State with 9:38 to play in period number 2. (2-1) Utah State. Back onto the Monster Energy power play thanks to a trip called on Grand Canyon's number 14. Looking down the roster, that is Owen Walsh. 5th 2-minute minor of the night on Grand Canyon. Pass is wide of Jackson Ferry. Aggies forced to circle back into the neutral zone. 9:25 to play in the period. That's going to take 15 to 20 seconds off this power play. Ferry's going to sit in his own zone and wait. Now Pfeiffer through the neutral zone, pokes past one. Got tangled up in a double team, though, on the near side. Ferry got beat around the corner. LaFontaine, the last man, is going to circle away to the outside with the puck. Now Pfeiffer comes into it. LaFontaine wanted to hold there. He's not going to get one. 80 seconds left on the Aggie power play. Under 9 to play now in the second. It's 2-1 Utah State. Freegang and Pilgrim, your goal scorers for the Aggies. Pfeiffer back behind for Sanborn. Now LaFontaine gives it right back to Caleb. Caleb pinned along the wall, keeps the puck with him. Tries to go back to the corner, kept in by LaFontaine on the clearance attempt. Ferry eats up the shot, gave the pass to Gifford. Off the body of Northrop. Again, centering for Sanborn, knocked down by a body. That's out in front and covered by Northrop. Extra shoves on Caleb Sanborn as they throw him into the post of the goal. And you can see some frustration starting to leak out now for Grand Canyon. They've played a close game, a much better game tonight against Utah State than they did against Providence yesterday. Don't want to see them take themselves out of this one with the emotions that can run high in games like this. 45 seconds left on the Monster Energy power play for Utah State. Ramsey, left wing, on the wall, taken away from Bynum, just lost that one under his own skates. 30 seconds left on the man advantage for Utah State. 8:05 to go in the period. Pass out in front of Baum. Pilgrim comes in to clean that up. Stretch pass down the left side. Bynum picks it up. Bynum circles back through the neutral zone. Entry on the right wing, pokes past two Lopes, centering, takes a deflection up and over the shoulder of Pilgrim. Back to even strength now. Ramsey's going to chase this one into the D zone, and we are going to have a whistle for icing as that came right after the expiration of the power play. Aggie's going to get a break here in an offensive zone faceoff with 7:34 to go in the second. This is actually going to come back to center ice. I think the refs decided they called icing a little prematurely there, so they're going to do the most fair thing they can do and take us right back to the middle. Personnel change for the Lopes on the dot now for Grand Canyon. That's going to be number 5, Braden Willis. Jensen off the faceoff into the zone down the left side. 7.5 to play in the second. Aggies can't make the pass to the blue line. 2-on-2 the other way now. Grand Canyon from the left side. Good head fake from Ethan Poole. Has to pass back up to the blue line. Shot from distance. In and out of the glove of Titan Anderson. Rebound opportunity kept alive by Grand Canyon. Fired in again off the leg. It looked like of Tate Jensen and wide left. 7 minutes remaining in the period. Jensen up the wall for Bynum. Bynum chips to the center. What a nice pass for Freegang. Freegang down the left side for Pfeiffer. Pfeiffer to Bynum inside the zone. Kicked it down. Couldn't handle it with the stick. Missed hit there for Ty Morris on the blue line. 6:45 to go. The Lopes back into their own zone trying to reset. Bad pass gives it back to Freegang. Freegang has Reeves to his left. Poked off by two different Lopes. Jensen again resetting in his own zone down the right side. Reeves into the area with Freegang to his right. Drops for Ducius. Ducius pinned along the glass. Lopes come away with the puck again. 6:15 to go in the second. Reeves again throwing the body on the wall. Ducius absorbs a hit, keeps the puck in the zone for Utah State. It's sent back behind Northrop. Oh, big interception. Owen Ramsey walks it in off the leg. Big save by Northrop. Ramsey just couldn't get that thing in the air. If he did, that's in the back of the net. Long shot off the body of Klagora. That's going to get called offside on a really tough play. And that exact play, but the puck coming in about a foot lower, is what took Zach Pearson out of the lineup for about 2 weeks. Got to be careful with those. 5:50 to go in the second period. It's 2-1 Utah State. Goal scorers DJ Freegang and Teague Pilgrim. 1 assist from Sam Pfeiffer on the Freegang goal. And then Gannon Klagora unassisted for Grand Canyon after a big interception deep in the offensive zone. Pilgrim trying to get to that thing off the face-off tie-up. Ends up dumped in for Ramsey. Now LaFontaine fighting for it. Pilgrim fishing for it off the wall and finally flips that out of the zone. Too slow to be an ice. .5:20 to go in the second period. Off the far wall, bad pass. Gifford has it. Gifford centering. No one there for Utah State, playing a little conservative defensively. Big hit. Jack Wallace going to get lucky not to get armed there. It was a little far off the boards, but everyone seems to be fine. Now here goes Grand Canyon. Drop pass on the blue line. Circling on the left side, opening up a pass again. Wallace nearly got a stick on that. Gifford fanning it off the crease, right onto the stick of a Lope. Big save, Titan Anderson. Now Wallace will clear the zone. 2-on-2 the other way. Has help with LaFontaine. Wallace went right into the 2 Grand Canyon Lopes that were on him and just could not get through them. Under 5 to play in the period. Stretch pass LaFontaine. 3-on-2. Saldana in the middle. Chips forward. That one blockered away by Northrop. Picked up on the far side wall by Ferry. Has it pinned along the wall. Tries to go into the corner, intercepted, flipped out to Braden Mooney. Mooney gloves it down, sends it back into the zone. 4:20 to play. And sent again back down. Logan Baum will pick it up off a deflection, no icing. Mooney into the neutral zone, picked up by Grand Canyon again. They'll try and chip and chase. Titan thought about catching that one, let it float over the crossbar. Lopes almost come away with it. Baum's going to have it, though, in the corner. Ferry switches the ice to the near side for Braden Mooney. Under 4 to play in the second. Mooney stapled on the wall. Oh, bad turnover. Wraparound opportunity almost finds Ferry on the back post. Flipped through the rafters. Not going to hit any metal. We're not going to have this whistle dead. Baum going to get there first. That should have been an icing. Another shot. Nice scoop and kill by Titan Anderson with 3:21 to play in period number 2. Still 2-1 Utah State. A goal apiece in this second period. Got a couple other scores from around the Beehive Showcase. Montana State taking down Northern Arizona 3-1 earlier today. The Northern Arizona Lumberjacks will be in the building tomorrow night at 7 to take on this Utah State team. You'll be with Brian Kirk and Taylor Davis tomorrow night here on the Utah State Hockey YouTube channel. I'm being forced to go watch football instead of be here at the Eccles. Sometimes you got to do your job, I suppose. Long shot, in and out of the glove, nearly spills out for Tate Jensen, and now we're going to have a whistle on Jensen as he throws down a Lope off the puck. That's going to be interference. Unintentional, but heavy enough contact to warrant a whistle there, and Tate Jensen going to plead his case to closed ears. Just the third Aggie to find the penalty box tonight. Had 2 minutes on Braden Mooney earlier, 7 minutes and a game for Zach Pierce in the first period. Three minutes to play in the second. 2 minute now power play for Grand Canyon. Just their third true man advantage of the night. And the faceoff exits the zone. Jack Wallace will chase. Through the middle looking for Klagora. Klagora forced back to the center circle. Now he'll check himself back up into the zone. Ramsey intercepts that pass on the back wall. He'll pin it up against the yellow paint on the bottom. Lopes come away with it. Into the back netting off a save for Titan Anderson. 2:29 to go in the second period. 1:29 to play on the power play for Grand Canyon. Lopes still trailing 2-1. Had a better second period for sure. Haven't been able to sustain some of that offensive energy though off the goal from Gannon Klagora. Offensive zone win for Grand Canyon. Walking in on top of that circle on the left side. Kicked down by LaFontaine. Aggies don't clear the zone for whatever reason. Shot tipped in front of Anderson. Goes wide left. Finally off the side wall by Pilgrim, but kept in the zone by Grand Canyon. Klagora right side, right into the middle. Too heavy on the pass. Couldn't be settled cleanly. Still alive for Grand Canyon from the left side. Shot wide right of Anderson. He never saw it. Had a good screen from LaRiviere in front of him. Now Klagora up the wall. Dropped off on the blue line. Shot off the stick of LaFontaine into the back netting. 1:47 to go in the period. Power play unit looking good there for Grand Canyon, but they're going to make a wholesale change. Some frustration on the way off the ice from Wyatt Schmitz. Schmitz had a good look there, just couldn't put it on frame. Bodies flying around, puck is loose on the near side wall. Gloved down by Grand Canyon, finally clearing the zone is Reese Bynan. Now we've got a 2-on-2 the other way with Bogan. Bynan walks it outside, he'll settle down and clear the zone for Saldana. Saldana circles back, finds Logan Baum. 30 seconds left to kill for Utah State, 1:30 remaining in the period. Stretch pass up the wing for Bynan. Did he get a touch on it? Doesn't matter. One more rush now for the Lopes. 15 seconds left on their power play. Speed down the left wing. Poole looking for a pass. Mugged in the corner, can't get it off. Now up the wall to the blue line. Shot opportunity neutralized by Saldana. Bynan breaks the zone, and it's even strength hockey again. Ethan Saldana into the zone to the far side off his skate. He's bumped into the corner. Utah State will go off for a change. 50 seconds remaining in the period. That's going to be an ice, and we've got a delayed penalty as well. I think this one's going on Utah State. Yep, it's going to be Ethan Saldana into the box with 45 seconds left in the second period. Aggies holding on to a very thin one-goal lead. It's going to be a slash on Saldana. So a couple big power play opportunities all throughout this period for Grand Canyon. Ironically, their one goal came at even strength. But they'll get another shot here, and that power play looked really good just a couple moments ago. Neutral zone face-off. Takes a very weird bounce and goes straight back behind the net of Northrop. 35 seconds left in the period. Down the right wing, Grand Canyon looking for one more bit of pressure to end the second. Schmitz, chip and chase. Ramsey all the way around the glass and back into the neutral zone. 20 seconds left in the period. Lopes just again can't handle the crisp passing, but a good takeaway. LaRiviere into the corner on the near side. 10 seconds left in the period. To the point. Klagora knocked down by Freegang. Slides in for a second block attempt. That shot goes wide. Stick lift by Pfeiffer will neutralize the rest of the attack, and we're headed to the intermission at 2-1 Utah State. Taking a one-goal lead into each intermission so far. Your goal scorers, DJ Freegang and Teague Pilgrim. Gannon Klagora for the Lopes. It's been messy. It hasn't always been well behaved, but we've got a good hockey game here at the Eccles. 1:15 left on the power play for Grand Canyon when we come back for period number 3. Welcome back into the George S. Eccles Ice Center in Logan, Utah. It's time for the third period of action between the Grand Canyon Lopes and the Utah State Aggies. I'm Stockton Jukes with you on the Utah State Hockey YouTube page. We thank you for tuning in all weekend for this Beehive Showcase. 2 more nights full of hockey action to come tomorrow. We've got neutral ice matchup at 4, then the Aggies will take on Northern Arizona at 7 p.m. The Lumberjacks dropped their earlier game today at 4 p.m. against Montana State down in Ogden. It was 3-1 in favor of the Bobcats. Utah State playing this one a little bit tighter than we anticipated coming into the matchup. We saw Grand Canyon drop that game to Providence 7-2 yesterday, but only trailing 2-1 heading into the third period, and a pretty good showing from Kyle Northrup in net tonight. Aggies back onto the ice now with Titan Anderson, who is having himself as equal, if not better, of a showing as Northrup here. Only goal that Titan Anderson has given up tonight was a pass that was missed by Utah State's defense and given to the stick of Gannon Klagora in about 5 feet of space. Hard to miss from there. Hard to hold Titan Anderson responsible for that one. But it's 2-1. It's been a good hockey game. It's been a chippy hockey game. Lots of penalties throughout that second period. Going back to end of the first period, Zach Pierce given 5 in a game for stick contact to the head. It's a player safety penalty. They have to apply the letter of the law there, but just talked to Pierce in the intermission, and he had some choice words for that call. So you can imagine he's not too thrilled. He was telling me, he got a big chunk of the game off last night, got a big chunk of the game off tonight. He's saying, my gear's still dry. Didn't even get any sweat on it yet this weekend. So he's feeling a little too rested. I'm sure he's going to be eager to get out there against NAU tomorrow night. We'll see if he can make it through the first period. Also had Dylan Hale on at the beginning of the second period. Also, always good to have those Utah State hockey alumni in the building. Seeing a lot of Alec Mosier, Sean Johnston. Saw the Twins here a couple weeks ago as well. The Molnos, of course. Grand Canyon comes away with a fight for the face-off. Some big contact between Pilgrim and his man on the way into the zone. Lopes have it behind Anderson now. Bodies go flying back behind the cage. Centering pass. Tried to find the stick of Klagora. He was well covered by Jack Wallace, and now we're going to have a late hit by Utah State as Pilgrim collides with someone. He looks to be in a little bit of pain as well. Awkward collision. No one's going to get called, but icing is whistled on Utah State. We'll go back off, it looks like, to the right side of Titan Anderson. .52 seconds left on the Grand Canyon power play. Again, they came out of the intermission on a power play, had a minute 15 remaining after the break. Wallace fights for that faceoff. He's going to be beat to it by LaRiviere behind the net. Bogan follows him. 3 or 4 sticks in there fishing for that puck. It pops out to Pilgrim. He fires off the sidewall and out of the zone. Under 40 to go on the Grand Canyon power play. Looking for the equalizer. Lone goal again from Gannon Klagora. Klagora is out there on the ice for Grand Canyon, standing at the opposite blue line, waiting for a stretch pass. Now he'll enter the zone with some help, gets the drop pass on the right side. Circle is back outside the circle. Give and go from the blue line. Back to the wall now. Schmitz up top. Schmitz from the center of the zone. Fires in, looking for a deflection, covered by Anderson. And we'll go back to the face-off circle, off to his left. LaFontaine shoving LaRiviere out of the way of Titan Anderson. Like we mentioned, things were getting pretty chippy at the end of that second, well, really throughout the entire second period. .18:55 to play in the contest. 10 seconds left on the Grand Canyon power play. If they can win this faceoff, they'll get a couple more looks before we go back to even strength. Aggies push that behind their own legs, but they give it up. Oh, what a save by Anderson right on top of the crease. Excellent one-time opportunity for Owen Walsh. Cannot get it past the big body of Titan Anderson. Got to assume he gets a lot of his goaltender powers from the best flow west of the Mississippi underneath that helmet. Flipped out of the zone with 1 second left on the kill for Utah State. No icing, and we're back to even strength. Saldana straight over to the bench. He'll be replaced by Pfeiffer. Aggies picking the pressure up, applying it in the neutral zone. Free gang swatting at it, forces a bad pass. LaFontaine alone in the D zone. Stretch pass forward to the middle. Pfeiffer knocks it down perfectly. Pfeiffer on the doorstep. Rebound. Puts it back out in front for Reese Bynan. 3-1 Utah State. Pfeiffer's got his second assist of the night. LaFontaine's probably going to get the secondary on the stretch pass, and it's 3-1 Utah State, 18:21 to play in the game, their largest lead of the contest. Free gang, Bynan, and Pilgrim doing it again tonight. They were very present on the score sheet last night for Utah State. It's probably why they were out there to start off. Pfeiffer with 2 assists, Free gang with a goal, Bynan with a goal, Pilgrim with a goal. Tie up on the dot, kicked out of the circle by Gifford, who had his stick being held in the armpit of an opponent. Now Baum gets a shot off, bounces through, still loose. Nearly an open cage shot for Gifford, but poked away at the last second by the stick of Sikowski. Wallace kicks that pass into the bench as Baum collides with Corey Sikowski again. Sikowski and Baum have been going at it all day, and Baum's going to laugh at him as he heads back to the bench, as he's been doing it all night. Utah State, we heard from Dylan Hale the difference between last year and this year. You can see the physicality has increased with Eric Gierloff behind the bench for Utah State. And their willingness to respond to the chippiness has also increased. We've seen it in the body language the last couple weeks against just about everyone they've played except for Weber State, but they'll have another couple chances of that stupid team in purple down south. Grand Canyon will play Weber State on Sunday afternoon, actually. I think a 1 p.m. puck drop is what that's scheduled for. Please. I asked you guys yesterday, Grand Canyon fans watching from back in Phoenix, please beat that other team in purple down in Ogden. We can't stand them. What a one-time opportunity from Wallace. Snaps the stick of Sikowski, who tried to block it. Fired back down the ice. We're going to have a delayed penalty on Utah State, and the icing is whistled. No, that's going to go against Grand Canyon. Let's see what the call is. No, excuse me, that was not being called a penalty. They were holding the substitution for the icing. Had the arm in the air. He was trying to hold the bench there. I didn't see the hand. Now he does get the illegal substitutions back off the ice. Again, you cannot make a change on an icing. 17:37 to play in the third. It's 3-1 Utah State. Offensive zone face-off to the right of Northrop. D-zone win. Schmitz gets belted by Pilgrim in the corner, but he does get the pass off. Now up the boards. Bogan steps in to intercept. Centering, knocked down. Good stick from Jason Murphy, and this one's fired into the bleachers. Just a reminder, fans here at the Eccles Ice Arena, if you're ever in the building for a game, there's not a lot of safety netting around the sideboards here, and they are pretty short because youth hockey's played here, so keep your head on a swivel. Those vulcanized rubber discs do not feel good. Ferry on the dot, Saldana left, Sanborn right. Schmitz trying to get to this on the defensive wall. Ferry fires in off a bounce, and a good kick save from Northrop. He's been under increased pressure to begin this third period. Lopes finally do break the zone. They might be able to get to this puck 2-on-2. Nope, Ty Morris saves the day and clears the zone. Circle to circle in the D zone. Sanborn intercepts on a bad bounce. Ferry knocks it down on the clearance attempt, but it will be cycled out of the zone on the far side. Now with speed down the left wing, it'll be dumped in. Grand Canyon going off for a change. Pass off the wall, Sanborn. Sanborn up the wall, Ferry intercepted. Bounces back out to Garrett Bogan. To the near side, Ferry made the cut off the left wing too early, but he's going to be there first. He gets the puck, cancels the icing. Sends it off the back of the cage, was trying to send it back out in front of the crease. Just went the wrong angle off the stick. Barely kept in the zone by Reeves, but sent right back out. What a big hit across the neutral zone by LaFontaine. Sends his man flying. Nick Marana slow to get up, but he does look to be a little shaken up on that right leg. He's going to slowly make his way back to the bench as Grand Canyon kills time in the D zone. Hope he's okay. 4 minutes down now in the third period, under 16 to play. Sticks really active on the forecheck for Utah State. Reeves is going to have another opportunity in the corner. He takes a bump, keeps the puck in the zone for Utah State. Schmitz is trying to get that out of there. Finally gets some help from LaRiviere. Ramsey on the wall. LaFontaine got hit way behind the play. I think that's retaliation for what he just did to Marana. They're not going to whistle anything there, even though it was very late and way off the puck. Zone clearance. Opportunity now for Klagora. Drags, trying to get around one. Could not get back to the puck. Rebound opportunity as Anderson goes out of the box, and we're going to have a penalty whistled on Utah State again. Probably going to be a hold on Nolan Gifford. Or is this going on Klagora? No, it is going to be Gifford. Gifford for the hook. They've got Jarrett Duchess right now. I don't think that's the correct player. Duchess is really confused because he wasn't involved in that play. That was Nolan Gifford. They got the numbers backwards. So Duchess is going to serve the penalty. 2 minutes for a hook. Should have been Nolan Gifford. Anyway, Giff's going to get a couple minutes on the bench. 15:06 to go. Another power play for Grand Canyon. They trail by 2. They could really use a conversion here and quickly. 15 minutes remaining in the game. Bouncing around behind the net, Mooney gets a blade to it, fires it towards the blue line, just barely kept inside. Sticking to that left side now, Grand Canyon passing up and down the wall. Down towards the goal line now, looking for that final pass all the way up top of the circle on the right side. Shot is blocked by Freegang, spills past Anderson, and a garbage goal for Grand Canyon. Some extra celebration from number 10, Corey Sikowski, who's been frustrated in this period, and a power play goal for Grand Canyon with 14:29 to play. They cut that lead back down to 1. Boy, you'd think they just won the Stanley Cup. Back to even strength now as Duchess is released from the box. 2 goals Anderson has let in. He's been scrambling, been left to dry by his defense. Been a solid game for him when the passing up front is connecting. 14:20 to play in this one. Grand Canyon keeping it interesting, playing a much better hockey game than they did yesterday. Another opportunity. Shot is whiffed on, comes off the end of the stick awkwardly. Stretch pass through the middle is tipped down by Bynan, but behind the center line. Bynan's going to win the race for icing, though. No whistle. Trapped up along that back wall. Freegang trying to get in and skate away with it. Comes out in front. Freegang almost has a backhand opportunity, but a stick comes in and lifts him away from it. Lopes down the right side, tipped into the zone by the Utah State defense. Tate Jensen held up a little bit trying to get to the puck. Aggies exit the zone on the left. Bynan, big hit. He pops right back up. Freegang causing some handling issues at the neutral zone, and now his stick is getting held up by a Lope, who is asking for a penalty. This one will be covered by Northrup as Pfeiffer is held down on the crease by Grand Canyon. They're getting a little handsy as this one's going on. Nothing new. 13:29 to play in the third. We did see this yesterday out of GCU in a very different game, but they started to get a little gassed and a little bit tired towards the end of the third yesterday. Caused them to maybe make some emotional plays that they wouldn't otherwise make. Just trying to keep themselves mentally in the game right now. It's going to be a key for them throughout the end of this one. Can't take any unnecessary penalties. Just down a goal right now. Shot from LaFontaine off the body, gets his own rebound. Saldana's being held on the ice by Grand Canyon right in the middle of the zone, and they're just not going to call it. Ramsey down the wall. Ferry lets it go. Thought Saldana was there. 13 minutes left in the game. Long pass down the left side. LaFontaine, they're going to wave off icing even though Jack was there first. Couple shoves from behind. LaFontaine lost the puck. It's picked up by a teammate. Sanborn dispossessed. Bounces free for Ramsey. Ramsey just barely gets the pass off. LaFontaine's got some space now through the center of the zone. Caleb Sanford. Saldana again getting interfered with. No whistles. Pilgrim turns it over on the blue line. Lopes have to check back up on side. Dumped in to the stick of Logan Baum. Backhand pass, didn't see the Lope crashing, almost turns it over in a bad spot. Braden Mooney, though, will at least tie him up for now. Puck comes free on the far side. 12 minutes left, long shot, wide left. Kept in another shot, wide right. Pilgrim throws the body on the far side, can't free the puck up. Long shot, bounces wide left again, and Pilgrim's going to get lucky not to be whistled for interference there, too. The refs are just letting him go and starting to become an issue of safety. Puck still free on that far side as Anderson covers it up, and he just took a big hit. Logan Baum also took an elbow to the side of the head, and they're just not going to call it. Baum is furious. It's unfortunately a common occurrence we see here at the Eccles. Just too much hand fighting that they allow. And it's been on both sides tonight. Utah State's gotten away with a couple as well, even after Zach Pierce was ejected. It's not the way you like to see the game officiated. Gifford ties up his man. Pilgrim trying to fish it out. Bogan finally pokes it free and clears the zone. Bogan might have a break. Has Wallace on the other side of the crease. He can't get to the puck in time. He's pinned along that back wall. Wallace trying to keep it inside the zone for Utah State. Gifford knocks it down on the blue line. A big hit from Teague Pilgrim, but here go the Lopes the other way. Big save, Anderson. Kick save. And Wallace gets thrown into the boards behind the net by Klagora after the shot. Still loose in front of the net. LaRiviere under fire. Bogan gets that puck away. Up the wall, Wallace dumps it in and goes off for the change. Under 11 to play. This is going to be an icing as Tate Jensen wins the race. 10:49 to play in the third period. 3-2 your score. Big third period goal coming from Corey Sikowski. Still trailing by one, though, looking for that equalizer. Bynen's going to skate in to take the face-off. Freegang to his left. Pfeiffer to his right. Ramsey, LaFontaine stay on the blue line. Aggies win that face-off. Freegang going towards the far side wall. Doesn't get all of it, trying to get it to the corner, but Bynan will get there. Freegang now fighting through two different sticks, can't get to the puck. Great play by Pfeiffer, goes down to the ice with his full stick. Takes that pass away in the neutral zone. 10.5 to play. LaFontaine sends it into the glove of Northrup, and he'll kill the play. This will be off to the left of Northrup on the faceoff. Pfeiffer taking some extra shots. He gives it back. These two teams are just being allowed to punch each other, and at some point someone's going to get hurt. Got to be a little more gutsy as an official out there. .10:24 to play. Bynan glides in. Freegang left, Pfeiffer right. Schmitz ties him up. Puck goes out wide. Bynan sends it off the wall into the skates of Pfeiffer. Now up to the blue line. LaFontaine has a shot into the chest and killed again by Northrup. And we've got more fighting in front of Northrup. At least someone's being nice out there. Shout out to number 6, Dalton Mays, for not being too aggressive there. Mays has been to the box tonight, but a couple taps on the back. Hey, listen, we understand you got to protect your goaltender. No arguments there, but it's really about the officiating, just letting this get a little too physical late. We want to see a good game here. We don't want to see anyone get hurt. We don't want to see any unnecessary fighting, which would lead to ejections for the rest of the weekend. That pass is tipped by Utah State. It's going to cancel the icing, but Ramsey will get back to the puck. His stick lifted up, though, still free behind the net. LaFontaine will help him out. Pins a man in the corner. Puck bounces again behind Anderson for Ramsey. Saldana tries to stab it out of the zone, sent back the other way. Schmitz behind the net. Dangerous opportunity, swatted away by Ramsey. Blue line, long shot, glove save. Anderson, 9:41 to play in the third. It's still 3-2. Wholesale change for Grand Canyon now. Sikowski out there on the left side has the only goal of this third period. Aggies just barely clear the zone. Jackson Ferry skating hard after that puck. He's going to get there in the corner, tries to put his body in the way and allow Utah State to get numbers in the zone. Oh, what an interception. Sanborn took too long to shoot. Good block, selfless play from Nick Marana. Mooney taking a couple bumps, gets that puck free into the zone. Left for Saldana, off the chest, rebound out front, no one home for Utah State. Sanborn puts it back into the corner. He gets around one, spins out of a stick. Trying to get past the second. He's hooked and held there, no whistle. Under 9 to play. Off the glass, Pilgrim knocks it down. Has to let it go because it was a high stick. Baum under fire in the corner, couldn't clear the zone, ends up back with Gifford to the near side. Bogan up the wall for Wallace. All the way across back to Logan Baum. Baum sends it in off the blocker of Northrop into the near side corner for Wallace. Wallace, big hit. Trying to take that thing away from Schmitz, finds Klagora in transition, has LaRiviere to his left, drops it off. LaRiviere picks up the double team, bad pass in front of Gifford. He'll scoop it up and take it away from the net. Wallace out of the zone for Pilgrim. Pilgrim got tangled up right on the center line. Morris trying to get back into the zone, taken away by LaRiviere. Beats Wallace down the right side, chest save Anderson, rebound spills out. Klagora is knocked off it by Jack Wallace. Big body positioning stop by Jack Wallace there, sent right back into Northrop, and he's going to let this one come out of the glove for Schmitz. Utah State gets the change off. Freegang in on the forecheck. 7 minutes, 40 seconds remaining in this one. Utah State hanging on to that 1-goal lead. It's been a good game tonight here at the Eccles. Freegang shovels that one along. Bynen's going to get there. What a cut from Reese Bynen. Opens himself up on that far side. Nice pass for DJ Freegang, but a better block. Getting all the way down to the ice is Duncan Chisholm. Now up the right side, Poole. Poole, kick save, Titan Anderson off to the far side wall. Freegang. Intercepted through the neutral zone. Good stop. That would have been a clean break for Sam Pfeiffer. Freegang trying to get that puck loose. Dangerous pass on the far post, swatted away by Bynen. Under 7 to play in this one. Grand Canyon looking for the equalizer. Freegang leaves it for Pfeiffer. Pfeiffer across the blue line for Bynen. Bynen trying to give it right back. Bynen gloves it down. Taken away by the Lopes. Bynen does get back to it, though. His shot off the shin of a Lope. Still on the wall, comes out towards Pfeiffer. Pfeiffer circles the net. Couple moves, leaves it for LaFontaine. Now right back behind for Bynen. Back to LaFontaine. Looking for a cut. Right in the middle, Sam Pfeiffer. Pfeiffer centering. Ramsey didn't jump up, and he wisely did not jump up because he needed to play defense. Good hit in the neutral zone by Freegang. That one goes through the skates of Pfeiffer. This is going to be an icing on Utah State. 6:05 to play in the third. Defensive zone faceoff. It's been a messy game. Not a very well-behaved game, but it's been a good one nonetheless. 3-2 with just over 6 minutes to play. Grand Canyon searching for that equalizer on the offensive zone faceoff. One back to the blue line and then dumped right back behind Anderson. Saldana's pass knocked down on that far side wall. Ends up back with LaFontaine again in the corner. Over to Ramsey off the back of the cage. 5:45 to play. Pfeiffer knocks it down for Freegang, and Pfeiffer gets knocked offside. His skate is still on the blue paint. That's not offside, and Utah State's rush is killed by the officials. They'll bring him back to the neutral zone dot right in front of us. 5:41 to play in this one. Sanborn tied up. Lopes try and go left wing. Anderson wisely knocks that away from the crease. That was going to bounce into a dangerous spot. Now here goes Bogan with speed. Aggies don't have numbers, but they have the speed. Bogan gets the shot off right in front of Jackson Ferry. Almost had the deflection on it. Saldana sending it back into the mixer, back behind the net. Up the wall, this is going to be an icing on Grand Canyon with 5:13 to play. We're coming back the other way. See if Utah State wants to go left or right here. They want left. It'll be off to the right of Northrop. We've seen two really solid goaltender performances tonight between Northrop and Anderson. Gifford, face-off win. Reeves back to the blue line. Jensen back to Bogan. Bogan looking for the tip from Gifford. Rebound comes out to Duchess off the pads of Northrop. 5 minutes remaining in period number 3. Bogan skating up on that one. Forces a bad pass. Jensen cleans it up. Jensen back to the near side. Duchess off the wall. Duchess takes a couple hacks, loses the puck there. Back down the left wing, Grand Canyon. Long shot. Easy save for Titan Anderson. 4:40 to play. We'll go back off to Titans' right far side of the ice. Aggies are going to switch it up. Saldana, Pilgrim, and Wallace out there. Baum and Mooney are blue liners. Pilgrim skates away with it into the neutral zone. Left it for Wallace. Wallace back up to Pilgrim over the blue line. Pilgrim forced to the near side into the wall. Tried to drop it behind the net for Wallace. Taken away by Grand Canyon. Couple good passes. They find Klagora on the move down the left wing. Knocked off Klagora's stick. Logan Baum's going to get there. Flipped up and over. That's going to take a couple bounces. No icing. Not enough speed on that puck. LaRiviere near side. Entry on the right wing. A little over 4 remaining in this game. He circles the net. Centers out front. Schmitz just missed. Bounces right back in front of the net off the back glass, and the Aggies clear the zone. Pfeiffer to the right wing. Pfeiffer with Freegang to his left. Goes all the way left for Bynan. Bynan shoves it towards the stick of Freegang. Can't get the deflection. Rebound for Bynan. Swats it down in front of Northrop. And now the official is shaking his head at Bynan. I think he might be calling a high stick here. That was not a high stick. Extra pushing and shoving now from Grand Canyon. There's a glove in the neck of Sam Pfeiffer, and the officials are doing nothing about it. Pretty typical of the action here at the Echo. Schmitz also throwing some extra shoves. The ref's just out there to spectate. You may as well charge him admission at this point. 3:46 to go in the third period. And we're going to have a penalty now finally assessed on Grand Canyon after they just could not stop hacking at Sam Pfeiffer. They couldn't help it. Bad penalty to take. Looking for an equalizer with 3:46 to go. You're going to have to kill off a 2-minute man advantage for Utah State. And it's Schmitz going to the box. His first 2 of the night, shaking his head the whole way there, but he knocked the glove off Sam Pfeiffer. It's about as clear of a dead puck slash as you can get, and now they're going to send Schmitz out of the game. He's done. Crowd loves it. We'll see if this is going to be a major since this was a dead puck slash. It is going to be a 5-minute major in a game. Grand Canyon's going to be a man down for the rest of this game no matter what. Terrible penalty to take for the Lopes, and that's exactly what we were talking about 5 minutes ago. You got to keep your head about you, and they have not done it. Tough one, man. This has been such a good game. Part of that amped up physicality and mental game for Utah State this year, though. They're happy to let you take those penalties. Pays off again for the boys in blue. Aggie fans, while we have a break here, I want to let you know about a pretty sizable athletic event going on tomorrow at 1 p.m. in Club Estes. Utah State has a chance to do what only 4 other teams in the Mountain West have ever done in the history of the conference. We hope to see you there. If you can't be there in person, we'll be live with you on the Mountain West Network at 12:55-ish. Nice poke by Anderson. A second poke by Anderson on a rebound opportunity. Short-handed for Grand Canyon. Of course, they've got a press here. Down a goal, 3:20 to go. Utah State's going to take their time to reset in the D zone. Pfeiffer's got to be smart. He's got a man on his back. He makes a good cut, frees up some space. Finds LaFontaine on the right wing into the neutral zone. LaFontaine across the blue line. Aggies looking to finish this game. LaFontaine just lost his skates there. Ice is slippery. Dump attempt goes off the skate of an official. LaFontaine had to check up anyway. 2:55 to play in the period. LaRiviere, blue line to blue line. Takes a bump right over the line from Ferry. Centering, trying to get back to LaRiviere. Swatted away by Wallace. Free gang circles, drops it off. LaFontaine, dangerous pass through the legs of a Grand Canyon Lope on the press. That's how Utah State gave up a goal earlier. Ducius centers, LaFontaine trying to roof it off the body. Selfless play again from number 6, Dalton Mays. And now a big hit from LaFontaine after the whistle. This is going to be another penalty on Grand Canyon. At least it should be. We've also got a snapped stick on the ice. LaFontaine's going to be ushered over to the bench, and Ducius has some extra words for Mays, who is not playing nice anymore. Ridiculous that Dalton Mays being allowed to stay on the ice after that hit. 3:31 to go on the major penalty that has already been assessed to Grand Canyon in the final 4 minutes of this one. 2:17 to go in the game. The entire Aggie bench asking questions of the officiating staff. They're not going to get any answers. Free gang on the dot. Trying to find the wall with that face-off. Wallace is going to have to chase this behind the net now. LaRiviere. Had it poked away by Ramsey. Help from free gang behind. Under 2 minutes to play. Bomb back to the left side. Was looking for Ramsey. Bounced past him and Ducius. Now bomb back towards Ducius in the neutral zone. Ducius had his pocket picked. Chipped around Ramsey on the blue line. Logan Baum's going to get there first. Logan Baum tries to throw the shoulder, lost the puck, nearly gives up a beautiful top of the crease opportunity. Instead, Free Gang will skate away with it. 90 seconds left in the game. Pilgrim wants it bad. That pass poked away, but Pilgrim will get back to it. Finds Free Gang again, cycling back into the zone. DJ Free Gang avoids a stick lift. Had the puck poked away the second time. Now Pilgrim on the right side. Drops it back off for Ducius. Ducius back on side. Awkward angle shot. Blockered away by Northrup. Ducius thrown into the boards in the corner. 60 seconds left in the game. Pilgrim throws a body in the neutral zone. Aggies control again. Ramsey. Pilgrim. LaFontaine with a head of steam, has Gifford to his left. He's going to skate back towards the wall and just kill some clock here. 45 seconds now, Bynum on the near side. Bynum out front for Pilgrim, knocked away at the last second. LaFontaine again from the right side, blue line, down the wall. Gifford into the middle, Garrett Bogan wide open. Shot deflected by Bynum in front. Northrop somehow gets back to that puck, 29.6 to play. Really got a feel for Northrop. He's made some incredible saves tonight for Grand Canyon. A couple big kick saves, pushing post to post. Just been left out to dry a couple times. Utah State looking like they're going to be able to finish the job here. 29.6 to go, still on the power play. And a timeout called by Grand Canyon. They're running out of time. Just a 60-second timeout. About 9:45 local time, just shy of there. We did get to start on time tonight. Busy week here at the Eccles. Lots to coordinate, lots of teams in and out of Utah. Obviously, games being hosted by Utah State, Weber State, Utah, and UVU, all up and down the I-15 corridor. Grand Canyon, like we mentioned a couple times, they'll be going down to Ogden tomorrow. They'll take on Montana State at 4 p.m. And then on Sunday, they will wrap up their Beehive Showcase weekend at 1 p.m. against Weber State on their home ice. And if they play that game like they played the Aggies tonight, they've got a chance. Just got to keep it composed towards the end of the game. That's really been the downfall for this Lopes team. They've had many chances late in this period and took them all away with that major penalty. Riding on the wall for some of the fans here at the Eccles, but it's not over till those zeros on the clock. Grand Canyon's got some time. Bynum's going to kill some of that time, though, with possession of the puck. Has it poked away by LaRiviere. Comes back out to Bynum. Cross ice for Jackson Ferry. 20 seconds left in the game. Ferry back across for Gifford. Gifford wants the shot. Backdoor pass. Missed by Bynum. Pushed it across the crease. Had a yawning cage. Got too cute with it. He's already got a goal tonight, though. Now another backdoor pass for Ferry. Rifled across the crease yet again, and that is going to do it. Extra shoving on Nolan Gifford. He's going to be thrown down by Grand Canyon's number 77, and that's just poor sportsmanship from Chisholm, who's been a terror all night. He's been an issue for the officials all night. Grand Canyon's got to get their heads about them if they want a chance to win these games. It's a real shame. They played such a good game for 50 minutes and then fell apart in the last 10. Luke Anderson's got plenty to say to him from the bleachers over here. Again, I want to give a big shout out to Kyle Northrop, who played his heart out tonight. Stood on his head for Grand Canyon, made a couple killer saves for this team. This game could have been a lot worse for Utah State, but messy passing on both sides, bad penalties taken by both sides. Each team charged with 5 in a game for various penalties throughout the game, and Northrop and Anderson are going to give each other credit there at center ice. I'm not sure the rest of this handshake line is going to be too friendly. It's not. Aggies go 2-0 on the weekend. Again, they'll face Northern Arizona tomorrow at 7. We'll have the early game available for you here on the Utah State Hockey YouTube channel as well. That's scheduled for a 4 p.m. puck drop. Might get pushed a little bit later depending on what else is going on at the Eccles. I'm going to pull up the remaining schedule here for those early games. It looks like tomorrow afternoon at 4, it's going to be Dakota College versus Boise State. Dakota played a great game against Arizona State earlier today, knocked them out 6-1. Real shocker for me. And the matinee, 11 a.m. on Sunday, will be Boise State against Providence. Utah State will close it out, NAU tomorrow night, and then Dakota College, 2 p.m. from here at the Eccles on Sunday afternoon. That's going to do it for us here from Logan, Utah tonight. A big thank you to Grand Canyon for making the trip to Logan and playing their last 2 games here at the Eccles. They'll be headed down to Ogden for the next 2 nights before they head back to Arizona after a full weekend of travel. Really like what we saw from this team. Aside from some of that messiness at the end of the game, if they can clean that up, I really think they've got it. They've got the chance to take it to task to Montana State tomorrow and Weber State Sunday. But we'll have to see how they regroup and recover over the next 20-ish hours. For everyone involved in our production crew, we thank you so much once again for tuning into the Utah State Hockey YouTube channel. You'll be with Brian Kirk and Taylor Davis tomorrow night for the NAU-Utah State game. Not sure that we'll have any commentators available for the early game, but we'll be with you on Sunday for both games as well right here on this same Utah State Hockey YouTube channel. I'm Stockton Jukes saying go Aggies. 3-2 your final score tonight for Utah State. We'll see you again tomorrow night.